self-defense. It could be pretty critical. Bullying can be an issue, or just if they're attacked by anybody. They need to learn how to defend themselves, not instigate an attack, but maybe defend themselves from one. We're joined right now by Gazzy Parman with San Diego Combat Academy.
Yes.
What are you teaching the kids?
We teach them everything. Basically, mainly how to defend themselves. We teach jiu-jitsu, wrestling, judo, everything.
Briefly talk about the reason for this. There's a need for kids to learn how to defend themselves.
Absolutely. There's a lot of bullying going on in schools these days, so we teach them confidence, discipline, how to defend themselves, and definitely a good time, stay in shape. It's all important.
Okay, we have some visual aids this morning.
Yes, absolutely.
We got 4 kids here who are, what, level 5 jiu-jitsu?
San Diego Combat Academy, yes, and they are wearing level 5 jiu-jitsu shirts. One big family, so you guys go ahead and start. We got Elliot and Devin here doing... I asked them to do some wrestling and some judo as well. We got Olivia and Vanessa here doing some boxing.
Some boxing, okay. So you have all sorts of different self-defense types. Yeah. There's the jiu-jitsu and there's the boxing.
Exactly.
But what are you teaching them specifically? Obviously, they're kind of playing with each other right now in a kind of fighting, but you really want them to self-defend themselves.
Yeah. The most important thing for kids, I think, is to give them the confidence to do what they know how to, what we teach them to do. If they don't have the confidence, they're just going to keep getting picked on.
Okay.
So the first thing is confidence.
So I'll give you an example of somebody coming up to one of these kids, maybe pushing them. Somebody pushes them. You're teaching them how to...
Well, the first thing we talk about is look for an adult. You know, we don't want to get into a physical confrontation if we don't absolutely have to.
Okay, but if there's not an adult near them, then what?
Then you kind of look around, and if there's a place that you're familiar with, we suggest you run to maybe a grocery store if you're walking home from school. Maybe go up to a teacher, or just somewhere that you're familiar with. Mm-hmm. If you can't and the person touches you, it's really important for you to use your voice. When you have a strong voice, it scares the other child. Right. They kind of back off a little bit. Okay. So first thing we do is teach them to use their voices.
Now, is it okay to push back if you can't find a safe place, if you can't find an adult, the screaming or the loud voice doesn't work? Then your last resort is to fight back, basically.
Yes, that is the last resort. Anything that we teach to our students, we recommend only use it for self-defense. Okay. Don't try it on your friends at school or at home with your brother or sister. But if you have to use it, then yes, we encourage it. Mm-hmm. If you're getting pushed, say, listen, I said stop, you know, and if they don't stop, then you're going to have to
take matters in your own hand.
Exactly.
So they learn these things at the San Diego Combat Academy.
Yes.
How do people get a hold of you? What do they need to know to come and be a part of this?
All they have to do is look us up, sdcombatacademy.com. Very easy to find. They can also call 619-282-5855.
Okay, and we got very young kids here. We have some older kids here. What's the youngest that you would advise kids to get involved in learning how to protect themselves?
You know, instilling confidence in a child can start as early as 3 years old. Mm-hmm. We take 3-year-olds. I teach 3-year-olds myself. It's not easy. I tell the parents, don't expect them to learn the techniques. Expect to see differences in their attitude.
Has there been a change in attitudes over the years? We hear a lot of things, and people kind of pulling away, maybe parents and teachers, pulling away from any physical confrontation. Never throw a punch.
Right.
Never push back. But that's not really the most effective way in some situations.
You know, if you keep pulling back, they're going to keep bullying you. That's the problem. So you really have to nip it in the butt as soon as it happens. And like I said, they have to use their voices. And if that doesn't work, then they're going to have to actually do something physical, most likely.
Does it matter if you say you're a very small child and you're being bullied by someone who's much larger than you? Is that something that you can still learn to overcome? To learn to fight back from someone who's much larger than you are?
One of the things, you guys, let's have you switch up a little bit. One of the things that I like to do is I like to pair up the smallest with the biggest, so they kind of get used to it. So you go in your guard. Liv, I want you to go knee on the belly with Elliot. Devin, you're going to do the same thing with Vanessa. So the 2 girls, go ahead and start getting knee on the belly. So one of the advantages of jiu-jitsu is that you don't actually have to throw a blow. You don't have to punch them in the face. You can actually get them into a more dominant position without really hurting them. Just showing them who's boss here, you know.
Yeah, and it comes down to nipping in the bud, as you said, as quickly as you can.
Exactly.
So you have a young person there. You're teaching them how to approach, obviously, a much older and much larger attacker.
Opponent, exactly. You guys, let's stand up real quick and do the backwards bear hug. So in this situation here, that was a ground situation. There's a lot of different things we could show you. These are just a few things. Go ahead and get the bear hug, you guys. These are just a few of the things we decided this morning to show you guys. So right now what they're doing is a bear hug. Go ahead and finish escape. Okay, so they Oh, I don't think she knows this one. Let me do it to Elliot.
Why don't you demonstrate? Yeah.
So here, Elliot's going to hop down, lift his arms up. He's going to take a big step around and grab both my legs. And initially what he'd do is, when he gets back here, he'll just lift my legs up and I'll fall backwards.
And then he can run and go to safety.
He could, yes, he could.
What about in this situation? This will be our last question. I know we're running out of time, but I want to address this. If one person is confronted by, say, a group of 5 bigger people, how do you get out of a situation like that?
Run.
Run.
Yeah.
And scream.
Run. Yeah. Yeah. I would look for a way out. Look for help. You know, be confident, because if you show that you're inconfident, then they're going to keep picking on you.
All right.
Right.
Great advice. Thanks all of you for coming in. This was fantastic information.
Can we
go ahead.
recite the morals of the dojo? Is that fine?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Guys, line up real quick. Morals of the dojo. 1.
Honesty.
2.
Integrity.
3.
Respect.
4.
Discipline.
5.
Patience.
6.
Valor.
7.
Honor.
8.
Dedication.
9.
Commitment.
10.
Consistency.
11.
Pay the bills.
That's right. Don't forget to pay the bills, guys.
Pay the bills, always. That's all about respect, too. Gazzy Parman, thank you so much. San Diego Combat Academy.
Thank you.
Fantastic stuff. Hey, Dave Scott is out in Poway this morning. He's with the Patriotic Parade out there. Good morning, Dave Scott. What's the weather like out there?
Hey, good morning to you. So far, the weather looks